Hey, friend, you good?
I think so. My host, yep.
Yep. Sweet, have fun.
Yeah.
Bye.
Anyway. Check, check.
another to something. I swear I'm drawing the same page. Turn another to something. It's always something. It's always something. I'm going through all the motions. Oh, I gotta be. They say the storm will stop rolling. Hoping the rain. Down in that garden, it's so quiet and insane. Screaming, I just wanna feel fine.
Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Memo from the S3. I've been feeling sick since my sweet 16. Shiny colors always seem to make me crease. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. Said I'm feeling myself. You know that I got tunes under my belt. Voulez-vous I care, don't send me a bell. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. And when the sun don't shine on the southwest side, you know I can never pave the way. So I take a nut line and I take my time. If I'm sent, I'll get a takeaway. And if I see my little missus, I'ma give her all my kisses. Tell her, baby, I'ma change my ways. And my mama likes to visit, so I cook her favorite dinner and I play her favorite 808s. Okay, I don't give a much. Louis V. Rivoli, but she wears them like chucks. Watch me make a banger for the fun. Watch me make the music for the fun. Tell her, girl, it's mine out the way. Get me to a time and a place. If I make a tune on my phone like Lacey, tell her, baby, baby, make the string sounds crazy like bassy beat from a crease. I ain't into these, I've been feeling free till you see me on a TV screen. Sweet since my 16th beat, yeah, 16th beat. Memo from the S3. I've been feeling sick since my sweet 16. Shining colors always seem to make me crease. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. Said I'm feeling myself. You know that I got tunes under my belt. Voulez-vous I care, don't send me a bell. I'm rocking with that DAC heat from DAC heat. And when the sun don't shine on the southwest side, you know I can never pave a way. So I take a nut line and I take my time. If I'm sent, I'll get a takeaway. And if I see my little missus, I'ma give her all my kisses. Tell her, baby, I'ma change my ways. And my mama likes to visit, so I cook her favorite dinner and I play her favorite 808s. Memo from the S3. She could be my low-key queen, but she don't wanna talk lately. So I'm rocking with that DAC. Said I'm feeling so good. I've been looking how I should. Showed a couple pics I took. She said I got that DAC.
You broke my heart one too many times before. I remember times when dance for. I remember times when you go. Now I'm happy alone. She stole my heart. I can't believe I fell for her tricks. I can't believe I passed on my life. I can't believe the times were like oh so good. No one to tell me how, no one to hurt me now. I thought we said our vows. I miss your this I said my feelings, you got the best of me. Motive was lust, you played me basically. She told me that I'm quite a masochist. Oh, I know, I can't believe it still hurts to kiss. So I won't. Could you ever say you wanted this? I should don't. How could you ever say you'd rather be alone? I'm so glad that I'm on my own. Glad I'm honest. Finally gave time to myself. Yeah, I'm breaking out of my shell.
Baby, no money.
I can't believe you broke my heart. One too many times, but for. I remember times when dance for. I remember times when you go. Now I'm happy alone. She stole my heart. I can't believe I fell for her tricks. I can't believe I passed on my life. I can't believe the times were like oh so good. I told myself I need nobody else. I was surprised at how the cards were dealt. I wasn't ever sure of how you felt, but I knew for certain I would take you back anytime. Thank you to the adolescent me for my attitude. I never tell you ever what to be. I ain't mad at you, cause roses are red and violets are blue. I'm missing you, you stay in my head, not sure what to do. I'm leaving you, I'll be honest. I'm so glad that I'm on my own. Glad I'm honest. Finally gave time to myself. Yeah, I'm breaking out of my shell. I can't believe you broke my heart. One too many times, but for. I remember times on dance floor. I remember times when you go. Now I'm happy alone. She stole my heart. I can't believe I fell for her tricks. I can't believe I passed on.
It's a really big office, Andrew.
I can't believe the times were like oh.
Just waiting for you all to come hang out with me.
One too many times, but for. I remember times on dance floor. I remember times when you go. Now I'm happy alone. She stole my heart. I can't believe I fell for her tricks. I can't believe I passed on my life. I can't believe the times were
Andrew,
Yep.
you have some kind of television device that you use for meetings there.
Yep.
Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, I can't remember the number. Let me see here. It's called a ViewSonic something. I put together a document. I can send you all, I think April saw it back in the day, that had how we do, because we have this set up where this is a fancy touchscreen, and then we also have like a TV set up with an iMac behind it, or I know,
Okay.
yeah. With a webcam and stuff too. So I could send you, I'll put together a little tutorial video. Who was that for? That was for the COVID call. Kind of two different setups.
Okay, thank you. We have some grant money that we might be investing in that for meetings that are in-house and Zoom.
Yeah.
And I remember that system and it seemed to make sense.
Yeah, totally. Let me, I'll try and find it here.
Thank you.
Totally. All right, let's give it, well, let's just get started. All right, well, so Ivan, or hi Ivan. Andy is not able to join us. She is doing a racial equity. Uh-oh, can you all still see me? Something popped up on the screen here. Okay. So Andy's not able to, had to hop into something else. And she has a racial equity kind of workshop that she's doing for the next little while. And so she's wasn't able to join. But we're gonna do breakouts first. So let me put in the chat there, or if somebody wants to beat me to it. We have 3 questions. So you can just, this is kind of our,
Recording in progress.
3 different questions. We'll probably do groups of probably 3 or 4. And the 3 questions are, what new things have you learned recently that you're excited to share? And that could be personal, it could be work related, skill related. What community events are upcoming that others should know about? And then what is a training or conversation you think CEDP should host? We're gonna do something at the, we'll look at the save the dates there in a bit, but we're gonna talk about kind of some best practices for doing a funding presentation. So if we're gonna meet with donors or with some investors, how do we just prepare a really solid presentation? So that kind of got us thinking, hey, if there's other kind of trainings like that, maybe, what would be some of the other trainings we would want to host or want to organize? If somebody in your breakout, if you get to that question, if you could take notes and just put those in the chat after, that would be super helpful. So again, we're gonna do breakout rooms. What new thing have you learned recently that you're excited to share? What community events are upcoming that others should know about? And what is a training or conversation you think CEDP should have? So we'll do breakouts of 4. There may be some new folks, so just we'll break out, and then if there's new folks, get to know them. Let's see. Let me set this up here. All right, we'll do 3 breakouts of 3 to 4. All right. Are we good? You guys got those questions in the chat? Okay, cool. So let's see, we'll probably do about 25, we'll probably do about 20 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna break you out here. You should start to see those. Should be popping up. All right, Ivan, do you have that pop up there? Man. Hector,
Just you?
you leave me not alone.
Oh, man. I feel like this isn't the first time that's happened to you. Oh, I'm still connecting on audio? Interesting. All right. All right. Let me stop that.
What's up, man?
All right, man, I'm tired.
Yeah,
That was a rough night. Just,
crying or.
yeah, we were good for the first, I think, 2 weeks, and now it's just really hard. Yeah. My poor wife, man.
Yeah, our first was, man, Levi was colicky and turned out he was allergic to milk. But
What?
the 6 month, like Denise, she had,
Yeah.
you know, dairy, and he had dairy.
Wow, just transferring
Yeah.
over.
And then he had acid reflux.
I'm gonna get some water real quick, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we have water bottles. That's fine.
I know. Bougie around here, it's good stuff. Who's on today? Let's see. Oh, we're in breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
I was a little confused.
It says you're still connecting. Is it on
I
there?
wonder if people were listening to my music.
No.
I had a little Wayne going on. Just gotta get hyped in the morning and whatever you gotta do to make it.
Do you have any sense what's going on with it?
With, I'm sorry,
Your
what?
son?
Daughter.
Daughter.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure that she's just tired.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to drink from the bottle.
Okay.
So, for mom,
Yeah,
she's gonna
yeah.
suffer. I was up with her most of the night. It was just like, she wasn't eating, she was trying
Yeah.
to sleep. Sometime like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rotation, it was like 3 or 4 hours of that. I know. Thankfully, I'm used to it now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it's been good. I don't know. It's really nice to have multiple rooms. You know? the one
How
I
much
have.
is set up?
Yeah.
Your parents are, or somebody lives with you, right?
No, just
No.
this
Oh,
us,
okay.
yeah. My mom was staying with us the first 3 days. Just, yeah, she had to go back to work, but man, it's been nice. Having family nearby is really helpful. We really got a lot of friends, man,
Yeah.
honestly. The Turners a lot, everyone's been chipping in, helping out. We all got kids, you know.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
How are you? How have all your home projects been going?
Good, I mean, the last like week or two has been, my uncle passed away, Brian Knight's uncle. Passed
Sorry,
away,
man.
Yeah, so he had cancer, but then like COVID, pneumonia, you know. So by the time he got COVID this last time, his lungs were just like done. So that was a bummer. So I went up to Sacramento on Sunday for the burial. And then yesterday we were down in Bakersfield for the funeral.
Oh, wow.
Like ceremony kind of thing. So yeah, so that was like, I mean, it's, you know, yesterday it was good to see like family I haven't seen, and especially with COVID, but like, you know, my grandpa's brothers and sisters, you know, like that distant of folks I haven't seen forever.
Wow.
So that was rich, but yeah, such a bummer. He was 157, so pretty young. So yeah,
Kids know him really well, or?
he was up in San Francisco or Sacramento area. So like he is awesome, and they sent Christmas gifts every year. I mean, amazing. They're
Just
so
a good connection,
thoughtful,
yeah.
supporting EMP, you know, like just very thoughtful kind of people. So not like they didn't know that like I'd hope, you know, but they may know they have enough Orion or, you know, but like not too close. So yeah, so that So, yeah, it's been on hold, all the other like projects have been on hold a little bit.
Absolutely, no,
But,
that's,
and,
totally understand. Why are you here this week, man? You should just take.
well, yeah, life doesn't stop.
I know.
Yeah, but outside of that, yeah, I had, it's been a busy 6 weeks because unintentionally, I did that Ligma Divided class. I don't know if you've seen that at all. It's kind of like a 6 week.
Is this where you were traveling?
No, so this,
Or is
it's
that-
kind of like, it's a 6 week race and justice class for Christians.
Yeah.
So we hosted it at North Point Church. So we did that. That just ended on Monday, and then I taught my FP class, same 6 weeks. Started
Oh,
on
the Jesus
Thursday,
stuff.
yeah. And then I started a faith and finance cohort too.
Oh, my God.
Like almost the exact. I'm like, holy moly! Like,
Where is the big and finance thing going on?
it's a Zoom thing.
Okay,
So it's people, like literally our cohort, because that Chalmers Center,
yeah,
they have people that sign up to do classes all over the United States. So literally my cohort is somebody from a different state.
wow, so
somebody
everyone's
different-
on time zone.
Every different, yeah. So we do it at 9
Someone's
o'clock on
always
Thursday.
missing. Yeah, I'm with you there.
So just like it added a lot of like, oh man, teaching, anytime you teach it, you're ready. So, but outside of that, just 4 kids, we're doing baseball. So
Wow,
yeah.
where do they play normally?
Cause like you're probably a little closer. We're kind of in between Cary baseball, which is
Okay,
like
yeah.
Fashion Fair, Cary Park. And then the other one that like you'll see advertised at Hamilton will be like Lions.
Got it.
So
okay.
Lions Park.
Yeah.
That's the
Lions
Lions
Park.
League. Yeah, so that's probably the closest to you. So we're like kind of in between those two. So we've done Cary baseball before.
Okay,
So that's what we're doing right
and
now.
you guys are huge baseball fans, if I remember right.
We are, but like kids baseball is the worst. Like,
It's just,
Reed, Brian's kid.
Oh, is he playing
and
too?
Finn are on the same, my son are on the same team. And, they're watching a 7-year-old pitch, dear Lord, them throwing and catching is hard enough, let alone pitching. So it's slow, it's like very slow. And even like last night, the game went 2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours. You gotta call it after 45.
Like the coach is like, our team was winning, so the other coach had like 6 minutes till like you're supposed to stop at 2 hours. It's like, we can get one more inning then, or half inning. I'm like, oh god, this is so brutal. So we were doing here what new things have you learned recently that you're excited about?
Sure.
What community events?
What community events are upcoming?
You know about?
Training conversations, make some picture jokes. I think on that last one more. Are you timekeeper?
Yeah, I'm hosting today. Right. 2 minutes. Should I bring a keyboard? It's good though, it's better to try and do this with less people, so it's not as stressful. So then when we do that in the future.
We invite other folks. There you go. This one.
Oh, I did.
It's just slow enough to be annoying.
Just a delay. Alright. 2. More. too far away. Who's Dell Optiplex 999.
Is that the machine for this stuff?
I don't know, no, somebody.
Okay.
somebody's in here. That's all right. Check. Yeah, all right, that's good. How much work like have you been doing? How much you've been off?
I took some time off from Care Fresno and Collective for a
Okay.
month, and I've just been doing CDC stuff. That's been really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to just
Have
focus on
one
one thing.
job.
Oh my gosh, it's liberating.
Yeah. It's great to have focus.
I don't think I'm at the point where I can do that just yet,
Yeah.
but hopefully in the year, that's the goal. Yeah, take her off, Care Fresno, find some work basically,
Yeah.
and just volunteer it out.
Okay.
That's really fun. I enjoy it, but
Yeah. You're at the
little
low
kids,
side.
yeah, in Aldo now.
Oh,
I
that's
bring some
good.
over there, yeah.
Oh,
I bring them where I need them now.
Yeah.
It's been really fun, yeah.
Okay.
So they're in Dogville, good relationships with the school.
Yeah.
We're gonna do an event there, actually, mid-April. back in there.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
bringing them
Cool.
back there.
Like the Cross City.
Exactly,
cool.
yeah.
That's good.
Oh, there we go.
I think it cut, Vicencia got kicked out before you were done talking, I think. But she came back and then she was back.
Hello. How was France, Joe?
Oh, dude, it was amazing. It was such a unique experience. My brain was like completely activated the whole time. I came back with a whole list of things.
And, or like, what do you mean list of what?
Oh, just reflections, bro. Like I've never been to, I mean, I was there when I was in first grade.
Yeah.
But in you know, there is an adult. Well, I'll sit down with you, bro. I got a whole scope, all sorts of stuff that I just find a way to bring right back into the context of what we're doing.
Okay, good. Yeah, hit me up. Let's do it. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back. Love to hear if there's any kind of like reflections for everybody. If you want to mute yourself, if you're not talking, that'd be great. But I'd love to hear, especially to that last question. You know, we talked about what training or conversation do you think CVP should host? If there's something there that you think, you know, would be really good for us to know about, maybe put it in the chat. Or if there's any kind of just general thoughts we're sharing out, I'll give a moment for anybody to give us any highlights.
I thought that Ivan had a really good contribution, and he could say more about this, obviously, than I can here. But just as a point of kind of highlighting that particular piece that I heard from him, and that's simply the difference between the implementation of best practices and the theory and administration that has to happen on the back end organizationally. And so sometimes those things can actually divide. That the administration, that is the practice of running organization, is sometimes not the same thing when you actually implement those ideas and there's divergence. And I thought that was an interesting idea that would be worth talking about in the future.
Oh man, feel that every day.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's all, Ivan.
Anybody else? You don't have to.
Sorry, I've got a little bit of background noise here, but our group talked about, you know, things like grant writing is always important and useful. Also, like community outreach, more ABCD type things, and the practicality of how each of us are using and doing that in our individual communities, learning from each other. And we also talked about the importance of taking the initiative to just have conversations with each other one-on-one outside of our CEDP meeting time.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I'll take some notes as soon as we move on to our next piece. So that's good. If there's any other thoughts, feel free to drop those in the chat. Again, like, you know, I think as Andy facilitates and does our one-on-ones, and then as the leadership team, this is really just, we're just trying to facilitate the conversations we all want to have. So the conversations are only going to be had if you bring up issues and things that you think we should talk through. So continue to do that and resource that. Keith, are you at a spot that you could introduce our next guest?
Yeah. Marcus, is he
Yeah.
on?
Yes, I am
Oh,
here.
excellent.
I'm gonna try to turn my camera on here. We had an internet outage last night, so I might get some lag here. All right, can you guys see me here?
This is great.
Perfect.
great.
Nice to meet everyone.
So Marcus Hancock is a key resource for us if we're interested in economic development and making a lot of connections, especially with CVS and there's just a whole bunch of opportunities through some of our healthcare industry connects. And we had a chance, Artie and I talked to Marcus. We talked about getting him onto the CDP just to explain what he does and how he could be a resource to some of our members who are really trying to get some economic development and job development, workforce development off the ground. Is that a fair enough intro, Marcus?
Yeah, that was great. No, I appreciate that. So I don't know if I'm allowed to share my screen on here. I'm not a co-host. Am I able to do that here?
Let's see here. You should be able to.
Okay, let me just try. So yeah, just to kind of quickly introduce myself while I figure this out. So my name is Marcus. I'm locally in Fresno. I'm a workforce initiative manager with CVS Health. And really, what my department is we're the part of the strategic diversity management. So we kind of sit at the intersection of healthcare, education, and workforce, but more of an emphasis on pre-employment training. So I wanted to kind of just highlight a small PowerPoint to kind of talk about how we can potentially partner. Let me see if this works here. Okay, are you guys able to see my screen here?
Yep.
All right, I'm looking at Joe's thumbs up, so I think we're good to go. So yeah, so just kind of, I got off, I think it's a perfect segment. And Esther, you're right at the bottom of my screen here. So we were right at the ending talking about, the importance of collaboration and really synergizing. And that's exactly what I look to do. So I really look to kind of dig deeper with my partnerships with any community-based organization. So again, I appreciate the time and being able to be a part of this call to introduce myself and introduce kind of what we do. So my core and our department's core objective really is to build a non-traditional talent pipelines. And we have several different ways within doing that. I wanted to kind of highlight briefly just our suite of assets. I should have actually kind of broken this down for Fresno, but really what we do is we really meet the business need with the community need. So I wanted to kind of take a brief time to kind of highlight all the type of suite of assets that we do have. And I think it's even a great point, again, from the last breakout room, kind of talking about, the type of efforts and the type of businesses and connections that could have with some of these partnerships. So we have, of course, our retail pharmacies. We have a couple EMOS locations in Fresno, our Target stores. We've recently actually developed a few health hub entities out here as well, and minute clinics. And so really, when I talk about pre-employment and talk about building a diverse workforce, it's not just for the pharmacy or just for the front. It really is a holistic approach on being able to staff all of this, what you're seeing on the screen here, our suite of assets. So I would love to kind of partner with each and every one of you, different organizations, Fresno Metro Ministries, to kind of break down some of the populations that you guys serve to kind of aid into these business units that you're seeing here. So again, some of our inspirational goals between the Strategic Diversity Management Department is to build a better workforce. And we have several different ways by doing that. So we try to, again, our emphasis is building traditional pipeline. We really try to unlock individuals' full potentials and really break the cycle of poverty. The last call I was getting on, I believe someone was talking about, the homelessness in Fresno. And so, talking about second chance populations, transitional youth, mature workers, I mean, anything that you can think of as far as, the population that you all serve and some of the key highlights of your guys' organizations, I'm really looking to explore that. And I wanted to just break down quickly just some of the 4 pillars of purpose and some examples of how we do that in some of the programs, which I believe is in some of those booklets. So within building non-traditional pipelines, these are some of the core factors of how we do that. So partnering with educational institutions, community colleges, consortiums like this, any type of workforce development organizations, faith-based community organizations, voc rehab, military mature workers, really able to not only equip the talent, attract the talent, but equip the talent to tie that back into, some of our corporations there. And some of the things I actually wanted to highlight briefly, just that we are looking to do in Fresno, or that I'm looking to do on how to actually tailor some of those populations, are simulated store trainings. A lot of it, again, is building those pre-employment programs, and we have the autonomy to really fill in the gaps on whatever it is that, you guys are seeing for the populations that you serve, and some that I even know in Fresno, and being that I am local here. So customized trainings, externships, and internships. Most of ours are unpaid, but I mean, it's still a good way to kind of, educate on soft skills and bridging that gap between, how to diversify the workforce and equipping those that might have those workforce barriers. We even do that with, on-the-job trainings. We just got duly registered for apprenticeships for pharmacy technicians. So even pre-apprenticeship programs to tie that back into the talent pipeline. So again, just really being creative and innovative and really helping, our own backyard. And I kind of wanted to highlight, I feel like it was appropriate just on some of these goals to kind of talk about what I'm looking to do. So we really want to target social justice and equity. I'm sure you all are familiar with that term, and really doing that by providing those 5 work streams. So, we have several different entities within our SMART clinics. Again, opening up more career paths for the second chance populations. I highlighted apprenticeship a little bit, and reaching more faith-based congregants, and then our WITCs. So something that I wanted to highlight briefly is that we are looking for space within Fresno for a workforce innovation talent center. And really that's a hub for several different pre-employment trainings and simulated stores, whether it be a simulated pharmacy or front store. I mean, again, we can kind of customize any type of, it's a shared space, so we can kind of customize any type of program that we would want to see within that shared space. And then I kind of just dropped this hint a little bit as far as the pre-apprenticeship. So again, or the apprenticeship. So if you guys are looking to kind of aid into, opening up a pharmacy career path in conjunction with CVS, with some of the people that you serve, I am definitely looking for those type of partnerships. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that briefly. I know I only am allotted for about 20 to 30 minutes. So I assume that you guys have read the booklet. So I wanted to kind of open up for any Q&A if there is any.
All right, here's the chance to hit them with all the questions.
Hey, Marcus, how would you work with, say, an individual CBO, let's say in West Fresno or Southwest Fresno? How would you work with them, just as an individual entity? And then maybe we can talk about maybe some collaboration that includes a group of CDCs.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, one, it's important to know that not every market is created equal, and not every partnership would look the same. So really what that looks like is tailoring what we want to focus on. So, you know, what does that look like? Are we talking soft skills? Are we talking resume training? Are we talking more medical career pathways? Are we talking CTE, depending on the, you know, the CBO itself? So normally what that looks like is either we create those workshops, work series, and then or either tying in our work experiences. So whether that be, you know, with the pharmacy or the front store, we have store manager in training. So we have a lot of different ways. We have things with Aetna as well. So we have an Aetna service location out here. Sometimes it can look like even direct referrals. If you just maybe have someone looking for a job and looking to kind of open up that career path with CVS, you guys would have access to that. And if we partnered together, your population that you serve would supersede anyone else kind of just in that requisition bucket if they just randomly applied, because we are now active partners. So, but again, we have the autonomy to be creative.
That's great. So the point I'd make for everybody on the Zoom is that you know, if you have participants or stakeholders that are you know, in the workforce system or want to be in the workforce system, then Marcus becomes a resource to you to maybe tailor some workshops and some trainings and some connections to employment. We could also do it as a group. If there's 3 or 4 of us that wanted to work together to put together some trainings and workshops, and also, you know, look at this pipeline to employment. I think it's what we'd be doing generally, right, Marcus? Just figuring out a creative way to work with all your connections and your resources.
That's correct. Yeah. And our business units, because, you know, not everyone wants to be a pharmacy technician. Not everyone wants to be a store manager. So really it's developing and pre-vetting, you know, the type of participants that kind of want to go through that training, and we customize that training to accommodate what you're looking for as a CBO and what your participants are looking for that are joining that CBO. And then tying that into our talent pipeline if possible. I think it's also important to share that it doesn't necessarily have to tie in with CVS. Obviously I'm a representative of CVS, but you know, if it's getting a leg up and they, you know, use these skills for whatever workshop that we've done to go in employment with something else, you know, that's still a win in my book. So really tackling, you know, those populations that are underserved, underrepresented, you know, that have those workforce barriers. And if you know that and want to partner and explore what that looks like, you know, that I'm happy to, you know, do this again or join one-on-one calls and brainstorm, meet you all in person. I am locally in Fresno. So yeah, to kind of answer your question. You know,
that's great. So maybe just to play off of this for a next step, Marcus, we could give every one of our members your individual contact information. They could you know, connect with you and see if there's something they want to do individually. And then we could also put together a group that if they want to work together as a CDP group, we could maybe have you come and sit down and figure out how, you know, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of us could collaborate to really efficiently use your resource.
Yeah, I agree. And again,
Okay.
Thank you all for your time too. This was great.
Just so you know, I mean, there's a lot of different levels of workforce engagement here, and FACE, for example, has a workforce residential program, and they're really working on a lot of people getting into the system. We're just talking about it in our breakout. I don't know if you want to comment, Lauren, but I think everybody's got potential, I think, to join something here to help work with their resident stakeholders.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I agree.
Anybody? Lauren?
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. I was just listening. It sounds like you can be adaptable in terms of offering different types of training to different people in terms of where they're at on the work ready scale.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether that be entry level, whether that be, you know, something more in management, whether that be position. And again, it also depends on the bandwidth too. For some of these positions, you know, we want to make sure that we do have the need to support the pre-employment program that we would look to build with the partnership. But that could be work from home. That could be, you know, again, pharmacy technician. It could be educational. It could be more health focused. On the last breakout room, we were talking about healthy eating programs, and you know, I was thinking of ideas just off of that, off Zumba classes and getting Aetna involved and potentially Medicaid. And so, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to definitely partner, but with our emphasis being pre-employment, I mean, we can tackle each category and component of whatever that job readiness is looking like.
Great, thank you.
Marcus, do you have opportunities or would you like opportunities to connect with our residents to get the word out and to recruit? Like if we have community events, is that one of the places that would work for you to like
Absolutely.
engage with us? Okay.
Absolutely. The way we look at it is really about funneling. So it's about very much to what you were saying earlier, Esther. It's about engagement, collaboration, synergies, awareness. You know, a lot of people don't understand or know, you know, what type of career focuses that they can even achieve. And so if we can bring that and tie that into a CVS talent pipeline, you know, that's great. And then if they become a participant or a referral, then they eventually become a hire. And I would be the one advocating for that. So, you know, I would be the one connecting, you know, any residents to a district leader or a regional director. So I'm really the liaison between the business need and then the community need as well.
Hey, Marcus, you are a resource dude.
Yeah,
This is great.
absolutely.
You really are.
I'm happy to provide too.
So why don't we do this as a next step? Anybody that would like to contact Marcus individually, you know, the contact information will be supplied if you don't have it already. And you're certainly open to create a relationship with Marcus. And then we'll put out a little email after this with Andy. Anybody that would like to do some things together, we can certainly see if there's a possibility of bringing Marcus into a room and we do some brainstorming about how maybe, you know, 3 or 4 of us could work together and leverage some opportunities. And I just thank you, Marcus, so much for your time today. This is excellent. I think it's a great economic development, workforce development opportunity for our partnership.
Yeah, thank you. So I did leave my email in the chat. I'll kind of stay on just to kind of review and see if I can answer any of your guys' questions or statements and learn more. So again, I look forward to you all reaching out and kind of building that relationship and synergy and hopefully we can collaborate to see what, you know, how and CVS can help Fresno.
Hey, that's great. Thank you very, very much, Marcus. Really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Back to you, Andrew.
Hey, Keith, do you have any space or are you available now to do kind of a Kresge update? It looks like Angie had to drop off the call for some reason. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're in the process of submitting a grant renewal. There'll be some different opportunities. Some of them are clear, some of them aren't yet. So we'll probably be putting out an email to you towards the end of the month as to what's going on. We're hoping, and we'll see how it works, that there would be an opportunity for some operational grants. And if there are, they'll probably directly come from Kresge to our CEDP members. So that's the way they want. They started out doing that way the first time. He changed it. Now they're changing it again. So things do change. So we're hoping there's that. And then we'll have some resources, of course, to keep Andy working and fiscal stuff coming through. And we're looking at some other grant opportunities in addition to Kresge. So we're hoping that they're going to leverage through some connections, some more resources for the Community Economic Development Partnership. But I think we'll have more details as we get this grant written towards the end of April, and then we can share more details about what's coming up.
Awesome. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Any questions on that for partners? Okay. All right. So Angie's not here. I think what we'll do at this point, let me share my screen. I think we're going to end up ending way early. So just kind of some upcoming events to know about. I'll put these here in the chat as well. We're going to do on the 26th of April, we're going to have a, kind of like a tips, best practices on funding presentations. So like when you're sitting down with somebody, how do you make a clear ask? How do you come prepared? What to have? Keith and Artie are going to be running that. In May, we're going to have a just kind of open conversation. So there's we'll have some questions prepped, but like, what are we doing on fundraising? Speaking of grant writing, business, opportunities, and then individual kind of one-on-one and probably even events as well. So just a chance to kind of learn from each other. So anybody's welcome to that space. And then our next one-on-one will be in June. So I think that's all we have, Keith, unless you have anything else.
Well, I can update people on Better Blackstone, but I just wonder if any of our partners have some updates they'd like to share. We're in the middle of getting ready to launch a new website for Better Blackstone with a lot of analysis, so I can give people a teaser on that, but I can do that next time too.
Hey, Crystal, are you? Thanks for messaging me. Were you prepared to share for Jane Adams?
Yeah, I have a couple of things I can talk about. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, we were just gonna do. Angie was gonna do, just a brief org update. Project you're excited about. And then a chance for any other partners to ask any questions.
Okay. Okay, so we have our cooking classes that we do every Tuesday with Lewis from ENP, which is real cool. The residents love it. So that's a hit. We also are working with Adams Elementary School. We would like to host Zumba there mornings. So after the kids get dropped off at school and they're already in their class, then the parents would stay on site and do Zumba, and then they would go home. So it would be an hour once a week, and if it's something that everybody actually wants to keep doing, then we'll add in another day. So we're working on that, which is really fun. We're also working on reaching out to Fresno State or Fresno City College to see if how we can start doing English classes for the residents in our community, which is something that they've asked us, that to bring out to the community. And I think the thing that we're most excited about is we're looking at leasing property out in our area so that we have like a hub, so everybody can, the residents can go there. We can do classes there and have community stuff there out of that property. So I think that's what we're most excited about.
Good. And then give me a little context. How have you been engaging residents? Obviously, how are you recruiting for classes? Are you guys, out in the neighborhood? How are you out in the neighborhood?
Yeah, so we go to, mainly right now, what we're doing is we go to mobile home parks, which there's a lot of in our community. So we go there, and whoever welcomes us and says, hey, you guys can use our little, rec room, and we host all our classes there. We meet with the residents there, and that's what we're doing right now. But like I said, we're working with the school. They didn't want to, not that they didn't want to work with us before, but it was kind of because of COVID. They didn't want anybody, on the school property. So now they're kind of warming up a little bit more. They see that we're not going anywhere and that we really want to, work with them. So they're warming up to us, and which is real cool because we didn't think that was going to happen, but we were being persistent. So I guess it, pays off to be persistent.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. School, depending on the school site, some have been very, very cautious, so it's good. Any questions for Crystal, Jane Adams?
I appreciate your clarification, Andrew. It's Luis Hernandez from Fresno Metro Ministry that's leading Cooking Matters classes in Adams, right?
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. I got it mixed up.
A little confusing.
No, take credit. We have a great cooking class that we copied and pasted from. Any questions for Crystal, Jane Adams?
Can I update on Chinatown?
So at this point, it would just be real brief update. So any events you want us to know about, things that we can, but not full partner updates.
No, we just launched our Make Time Business School. We have almost 15 business owners who are going to be taking instruction over the next 3 months to improve their business skills. The board is considering an applicant for executive director to hire at our board meeting on Tuesday. We've added 2 new board members and have a couple more in the wings. And we're also working on a real interesting project that's going to end up creating a sculptural mural. So it's a collection of community stories sculpted into a wall, which I don't quite understand, but it'll be real interesting to see how it works. That's it.
That's cool. And I saw the 559 markets coming back. In April.
Yes, April 29th start, and they'll be the end of the month through the summer. That's a team of people. It's in Chinatown, which is great, but it's not our event.
Yeah. Totally. That's
Okay.
cool. I see Jose said Safseda will be working with the city of Fresno for the Great American Cleanup at the park and soccer complex. And they've been doing their community engagement along the corridor. Any other updates, partner updates? Things we need to know? I know, Esther, you have something coming up in Lowell, right? Or that's in May?
Yeah, no, April 23rd, 22nd and 23rd. 22nd is a cleanup day at Dickey Playground with the neighbors and potluck. And then 23rd is a community block party, health fair, all the things. So we're really excited to bring that to the community. And if you all want to partner or come out, help out, hang out, you're welcome to do that.
Jackson CDC is doing a big event on April 29th called the Play Streets event. We're blocking off kind of a big block party with lots of resources and games, but really aimed at helping change driver behavior in some of our hotspot areas of our neighborhood that have perpetual problems related to traffic. It's a big event. A lot of folks are involved. The community actually are the ones planning this event. It's completely community based and run. And so we're very, very excited about this. And an additional part of that particular event is creating a temporary roundabout in some of our dangerous intersections around the school, temporary, that can be moved to other intersections in the neighborhood at other hot spots that are related to traffic safety. So pretty excited about that event, April 29th.
Anybody else? Our next one will be in June, so if there's anything in May as well, would be the time to announce. All right. Crap. Cool. All right. Well, with that, you guys get 30 minutes back. Love to continue to as you have events, send them on to Andy. She'll post them in our newsletters. I know only about half of our crew reads the newsletters. She puts a lot of time and energy into those, so I highly encourage you. We've submitted on grants and stuff that Andy has found that's applicable for us. So there's always really good links, information, and resources there. And then a reminder again, we'll have the funding presentations workshop on April 26th, and then the fundraising conversation in May. If either of those are of interest, you don't need to go to those, but and then we'll get some information out. Probably one thing I did want to mention, you probably saw in previous emails for this meeting, we're going to talk about our governance structure. We just felt like we had some meetings coming into this one and felt like it's not really clear or ready enough, and so wanted to just basically tune it up a little bit, and then we'll present on our June meeting with more information. So that'll be coming in our June meeting, kind of like how do we keep CEP going beyond our current structure? How do we all really lean in and take time and shaping this thing? So that'll be coming in June. All right.
Thanks.
Well,
thanks, Andrew.
have a
Thanks,
great
Andrew.
day,
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
Nice meeting everyone.
Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
See y'all.
Thanks, Hector, for not allowing me to be lonely.
We do. These are some cool people. Oh, I just missed a call from Nancy.